लोग यहाँ इस वक्त उपस्थित हुए हैं वो सब कर सेवक हैं, जिन्होंने कर सेवा की राम जन्मभूमि के परिषद और जिसमें जिन्होंने मेहनत की, उन सबको इस बार यहाँ पर निमंत्रण दिया गया। तो वीवीआईपी जिस तरह से सेलिब्रिटी इन लोग को कहा जा रहा है वैसे कोई नहीं है, पर जिन लोगों ने अपने हाथ पैर धुलवाए, जिन्होंने गालियां खाई, जिन्होंने श्रम किया, जिन्होंने परिश्रम किया इस मंदिर के निर्माण में और रामलला विराजमान में, वो लोग इस वक्त इस बार उपस्थित है। तो शायद कहीं न कहीं सौभाग्य है कि मुझे भी अवसर मिल गया उनके साथ जुड़ने का, उनसे बात करने का। कुछ लोग हैं यहाँ पर, ये जो जिस एनक्लेव में मैं बैठा हूँ यहाँ पर विश्व हिंदू परिषद के कई गणमान्य हैं। मेरे बगल में देखिए अशोक चौगले जी हैं। अशोक जी नमस्ते, कैसा प्रतीत हो रहा है आपको?
बहुत अच्छा हुआ है।
हाँ,
बहुत खुश हूँ।
आपको कभी लगा कि आपके जीवन काल में आप ये देख पाएंगे? लगा था। वाह, अशोक जी सिंगल पर भरोसा था। तो अशोक चौगले जी महाराष्ट्र से हैं, विश्व हिंदू परिषद के पहले ऑफिस बेरर भी रह चुके हैं, उपाध्यक्ष रह चुके हैं।
हाँ जी, नमस्कार जी।
नमस्कार, आपको कैसा लग रहा है?
बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है और ऐसा सोचा नहीं था, मैंने तो नहीं सोचा था कि मुझे ऐसा मौका मिलेगा। ये शायद हमारे पूर्वजों का और हमारे बड़ों का श्रम था कि हम लोगों को इसका आनंद लेने का मौका मिला।
दो सज्जन हैं जो काफी हमारे साथ जुड़ते हैं, मैं इनसे काफी बार संवाद करता हूँ, नचिकेता तिवारी जी, और उनके बगल में इन्हें कौन नहीं जानता, वर्ल्ड हिंदू कांग्रेस के फाउंडर हैं, हिंदू मैनिफेस्टो के लेखक हैं स्वामी विज्ञानानंद जी। स्वामी जी, मैं थोड़ा इधर आ जाता हूँ ताकि अगेंस्ट लाइट हो जाए हम, ताकि आपका चेहरा दिखे। अब आप मुझे बताइए कि ये आज का दिन जो है इतना विशेष क्यों है? आज 25 नवंबर
इसलिए है कि दो चीज के कारण से। देखो, अयोध्या में जब 500 साल पहले ये मंदिर टूटा था
जी,
टूटने के बाद तो फिर जैसे दिवाली या जो आज का है राम विवाह, ये सब तो ग्रैंड ओर से कभी मनाया नहीं गया। तो आज जैसे 2000 पिछले 2 साल पहले 2024 में अभी मंदिर कंप्लीट हो गया। अयोध्या लाइव हो गया। भगवान का जो अपना जिसके कारण से अयोध्या का उनका घर, उनका मंदिर पूरा हो गया। और आज का दिन तो उनका विवाह पंचमी है। तो ऐसे भी आप समझते हैं समाज में विवाह पंचमी का बड़ा महत्व है। तो ये बहुत हिस्टोरिकल है, तो और ये बहुत इंस्पिरेशनल है, और ये बहुत बड़े सैक्रिफाइस के बाद आया है जी। 78 लड़ाइयाँ लड़ी हमारे पूर्वज ने, 500 वर्षों का सैक्रिफाइस है
जी। और एक तो यहाँ नीचे रामलला है, ऊपर एक पहले वाले पर राम सिया है।
हाँ, नहीं ऐसा नीचे क्या है, रामलला है ना, जहाँ जन्म हुआ था भगवान राम। तो जन्म तो छोटे ग्रुप में हुआ है, उन्हीं के प्रति रामलला में चाइल्ड था, उनका जन्म स्थान का मंदिर है। अब उसके ऊपर तो क्या है, पूरा राम दरबार है, राम सीता लक्ष्मण हनुमान है और बाकी सभी लोगों का है। तो ऊपर उनका पूरा राम दरबार है
जी। आज प्रधानमंत्री जी से और संसद चालक जी से क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं? नचिकेता जी इज ऑल्सो इन्वॉल्व, वो विश्व हिंदू परिषद के साथ साथ IIT कानपुर में प्रोफेसर भी है। तो साइंस और स्पिरिचुअल और सनातन सबका एक बढ़िया कॉम्बिनेशन है आपका। पर बताइए प्रधानमंत्री जी से क्या अपेक्षा है? इसी मंच पर आपने सुनेंगे
जी, हमें प्रेरित करेंगे, इंस्पायर करेंगे। 500 वर्ष बाद राम जन्मभूमि पर धर्म ध्वजा स्वच्छंद होकर के लहराएगी। ये बहुत बड़ा हिंदू की जो सिविलाइजेशन है, बहुत बड़ा माइलस्टोन है। इसके पहले प्राण प्रतिष्ठा हुई थी, लेकिन उस समय मंदिर अपने पूर्ण रूप में स्थापित नहीं था। शिखर औपचारिक पूरा मंदिर निर्मित हो गया है। अपने ऐश्वर्य भगवान अपने ऐश्वर्य विराजमान में सारी प्रक्रियाएं अब धर्म की ध्वजा अयोध्या में राम जन्मभूमि पर लहराएगी। ये आज के दिन का बहुत बड़ा महत्व है।
और सज्जन हमारे साथ हैं, ये फ्रांस से आए हैं, विश्व हिंदू परिषद फ्रांस से आए हैं। ललित शर्मा जी नमस्ते। आज आपको कैसा लग रहा है? आपने तो कर सेवा की है, कर सेवा दी है, आपका हाथ हमारे दर्शकों को, पर इनको भी बहुत लाठियां डंडा खाने का
देखिए आनंद जी, आज का दिन इतना शुभ है कि अशुभ घड़ी को हम स्मरण में नहीं रखना चाहिए। आज तो सिर्फ राम सिया राम जय।
पर आपको अच्छा लग रहा है कि जिन्होंने सेवा की वो आज यहाँ बैठे हैं ध्वजारोहण के लिए?
स्वर्गवासी हमारे पूजनीय सिंगल जी, जिन्होंने जीवन भर विश्व हिंदू परिषद के संगठन के लिए कार्य किया, इसको मजबूत करने के लिए और श्री राम मंदिर आंदोलन के लिए, जिसके जन्मदाता मैं कहूँगा आज के भविष्य में, आज के वर्तमान के समय में अशोक सिंगल जी ने जो प्रयास कर उसका आज साकार रूप है
जी। देखिए
इस साकार रूप में एक ऐसे महत्वपूर्ण एक किरदार है जिनका नाम है स्वामी विवेकानंद जी। और जो ये आज भव्य रूप आप देख रहे हैं ना, इसमें उन्होंने जो उस समय, मैं 92 का तो मैं याद दिला रहा हूँ।
देखिए मैं आपको ये बात बता रहा हूँ कि संतों को छोड़ के संत हमारे साथ बैठे हैं, यही उनका बड़प्पन है।
नहीं, मैं आपको वो राज मैं बता सकता हूँ जो स्वामी जी सिर्फ जानते हैं। तो उस राज का पर्दा समय आने पे बता देंगे, और हो सकता है शाम को बताएंगे।
ये क्या राज है, ये भी तो बताइए।
शाम को 7 बजे।
अच्छा ऐसा है,
CNN 18 पे।
अच्छा न्यूज 18 पर हमको ही बताएंगे। देखिए जाते जाते कुछ लोगों से आपको मैं परिचय करा दूं। देखिए अब हमारे पीछे देखिए, ये वो शिखर है और ये वो पूरी तरह से जो मेन एंट्रेंस द्वार है वो सजा हुआ है, बहुत सुंदर तरीके से सजा हुआ है। सामने स्क्रीन है, इसी पद से ऊपर चढ़कर, सीढ़ियों से ऊपर चढ़कर वहाँ उस मंच पर प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी थोड़ी देर में अभी सबको संबोधित करेंगे। आप देखें सारे सुरक्षा इंतजाम किए गए हैं। काफी लंबा मैं आपको कर पाया हूं क्योंकि एक सज्जन है जिन्होंने हमारी मदद की। ये डॉक्टर टैगोर है और ये सीवी रेड्डी जी। सीवी रेड्डी जी आंध्रा से हैं। डॉक्टर टैगोर has come from लास वेगस। कैसा लग रहा है आपको? ये हिंदी के हमारे दर्शकों को मैं भेजना चाहता हूँ, तो बताइए कैसा अच्छा लगा?
We feel like home, peaceful, and we want to be here forever.
अच्छा,
kind of
वाइब्रेंट। मैं थोड़ा सा आपको आई वांट टू पुट यू इन अ स्पॉट। बालाजी और राम जी और बहुत है ना, बहुत। हाँ दोनों हाँ दोनों आके, तो एक राम जी है तो एक बालाजी, एक कृष्ण जी है। देखिए तो राम जी यहाँ कृष्ण जी भी आ गए। कैसा लग रहा है आपको?
अरे बहुत बढ़िया सर। अभी बोला ना मैंने, इट्स लाइक अ ब्लेसिंग टू बी हियर at the program of ध्वजारोहण
जी। ये हमारे हिंदी के दर्शकों के लिए तो यार दक्षिण भारत, पूर्वांचल, उत्तर प्रदेश सब जगह से लोग आए हैं और चारों तरफ मंदिर का परिसर इतना सुंदर बनाया है कि भव्य बनाया है। 6 अलग अलग मंदिर है। सप्तऋषि का मंदिर है, फिर शिव गणेश का मंदिर है, माँ अन्नपूर्णा और भगवती का मंदिर है, हनुमान जी का मंदिर है, सूर्यदेव का मंदिर है और श्वेतावतार जिसे कहा जाता है शेषावतार, तो शेषावतार का भी मंदिर है। सब इस परिसर के अंदर, इसको अब संपूर्ण कर लिया गया है। जल्दी से आपको एक 360 दिखा देता हूँ। देखिए ये पूरा परिसर कितना भव्य, सुंदर, अलौकिक लग रहा है। और पीछे देखिए भजन शुरू है, बहुत बढ़िया भजन गाए जा रहे हैं। थोड़ी ही देर में प्रधानमंत्री जी यहाँ आ जाएंगे। अब मुझे आपसे आज्ञा लेनी होगी क्योंकि मेरे पास संकेत आ गए कि मैं इस वीडियो को अब बंद कर दूं। नमस्ते।
Anna Narasimhan, exclusively from the perimeter of the Garbhagriha, the Ram Temple complex. I want to go straight across to Dushyant Sridhar and also Sadhvi Jaya Bharti, both of them leading scholars. Dushyant Sridhar has just published a book called Ramayana. Just a few months ago, we were talking about that book. Two things that I want to pick your brains on, Dushyant ji. Number one, clearly Uttar Pradesh and in particular Ayodhya is now emerging as the spiritual capital of the Hindu Renaissance that is taking place under our very noses. And we see how corridors and circuits in Ayodhya, faith and architecture are redefining what our sacred geography looks like. That's the Prime Minister in the now, the main Garbhagriha of the temple, approaching in fact the main entrance through which he will go into the main dome of the temple, paying his respects to Lord Ram. But Dushyant Sridhar, this is that moment.
Very true, Rahul. Because when you spoke about Uttar Pradesh, interestingly, the two itihasas that we revere and we read, one is the Ramayana that talks about Rama's biography, journey, And the second, the Mahabharata, that talks about the Pandavas, and of course, leading them in the forefront is Krishna. So Krishna's birthplace, Mathura, and Rama's birthplace, which is Ayodhya, one by the banks of river Yamuna, the other by the banks of river Sarayu. Both these places of both these protagonists of both these epics are in Uttar Pradesh. So on one side we have towards the eastern part of Uttar Pradesh, we have Ayodhya. On the western part, we have Mathura, and we have a Kashi, which is a very important seat of learning. And there we have Bindu Madhava and Vishwanatha, Shiva as Vishwanatha there. So all these places do make Uttar Pradesh a very, very interesting, very a place that needs to be visited. And I'm so happy that the facilities are improving, Rahul. And now that we have such a beautiful, exquisite, very breathtaking Rama Janmabhoomi temple, I'm sure there will be grandeur in, of course, there is a Kashi corridor, there will be grandeur in Mathura as well. I'm sure it's going to boost the morale as well as the economy. See, that's very important. We'll have to see for a country, the economy is equally important. And you must have seen in the last 2-3 years how the economy of Uttar Pradesh is also rising because of a lot of other factors. But this is one such factor. And while making a point, Rahul, just that point, that when the Honorable Prime Minister is leading in the forefront, it boosts the confidence of so many Astikas like us that we don't have to shed our Hindu identity to be accepted in the society.
Yes.
So that's very
That's a very important point. Very important point. Dushyant ji, just stay on with me because I want to bring in Sadhvi ji also. Sadhvi ji, the Prime Minister now paying obeisance to Annapurna Devi. The significance of this, Sadhvi ji, for our viewers.
Rahul, am I audible?
Yes, you are, very clearly.
Okay. First of all, congratulations on this auspicious occasion of Dhwajarohan today. And to start with, Rahul, I would like to say, because today is such an auspicious occasion and, everybody's surrounded with smiles and happiness. So I would say, as the saffron flag rises today, 1,000 years bow in reverence, the wind carries Ayodhya's song, a nation glows in remembrance. From Ram's footsteps to Sita's grace, Dharma finds its voice again. This day is not a celebration alone, it is India's soul reborn in flame. And like you asked about the importance of Annapurna Devi, before that I'd like to talk about Dhwajarohan occasion itself. Because Dhwajarohan is not merely the raising of a flag, it is the raising of civilizational consciousness, Rahul. And the saffron flag atop the temple symbolizes sacrifice, purity, fearlessness, and renunciation. The very qualities Lord Ram lived by. And for 500 years, the Ram Mandir flag was missing from its rightful home. And today, the restoration is nothing less than civilizational rectification, I would say. And also, if we talk about PM Modi's, visit there today to different temples. Like today he started with visiting Saptarishi temple, and then he visited Sheshnag temple, and now the Annapurna temple. So Rahul, this is giving a very strong message, to the youth of the country, to the people around them. When PM visits himself, it carries a message louder than words, because PM's visit to these temples, it is like honoring ancient sages and divine energies. And the Prime Minister reminds every citizen of our country to stay connected to their civilizational heritage. And not only this, visiting Annapurna temple, be it Sheshnag or be it Saptarishi Mandir, it is a symbol of wisdom. It is a symbol of stability. Together conveys that knowledge and spiritual strength is equal to national progress. And also, this is a historic moment that makes a resurgence of Sanatan values, encouraging every citizen to take pride in India's spiritual identity. And today's PM Modi's visit shows that leadership is not only political, but also moral and spiritual, Rahul, and it is rooted in humility and reverence for sacred traditions. And I would also say that this is very important. His visit reflects the commitment to preserve cultural, spiritual, and national unity as well.
Let me bring in, very well put, let me just bring in Dushyant Sridhar ji. Now we see the Prime Minister entering the main temple dedicated to, of course, Lord Ram. and you can see him accompanied by Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief. There's the Prime Minister. Let me tell you, viewers, it's not easy getting up all those stairs. The Prime Minister seems to have traversed that very easily. And then you have another bank of stairs which will take you to the Garbhagriha. We are going to get you the pictures from there very, very soon. The Prime Minister obviously would have taken off his shoes outside where some of these individuals are seated, these dignitaries, and of course most of them are Karsevaks, which is a fitting tribute really, because they are the ones, Dushyant Sridhar, who brought the stones from different parts of the country to kick off the movement for the reclamation of Ram Janam Bhoomi. So a lot happening optically even as we speak, but I want to ask you, the Ram Path, the Bhakti Path, the Dharma Path, all of these are also narrative highways, aren't they, Dushyant Sridhar?
Absolutely, Rahul. Because when we speak of the Ramayana, we call him as Dharmo Vigrahavan, the very embodiment of Dharma. What is the duty that needs to be performed by the son towards his father, towards his mother, towards his brother, towards his wife, towards his devotees, towards his friends? All these dharmas were followed to the T by Rama. In fact, Rahul, one of the very famed commentaries of the Ramayana is called Dharmakutam, where the commentator states what are all the dharmas that Rama has followed in his life. So today we are just not commemorating, this is just not a sanctum sanctorum, a sannidhi for just another person. Rama represents the very soul, the very Atma of the civilization. And his relationship with his devotees, the way he treated Jatayu, the way he treated Shabari, the way he treated the squirrel, the relationship he enjoyed with Maharaja Sugriva, all this is a testimony to this very civilization.
Well, also talk us through a little bit through these rituals. We are now beginning to hear the incantation to Lord Ram.
Yeah. So generally when there is a Dhwajarohana, there is a Kalasha Puja. So if you have seen in the very premises of Rama Janmabhoomi temple, 9 Kalashas were kept, and there has been Vedic chanting all these days, especially because Rama belonged to Shukla Yajurveda. There was a Parayanam of Krishna Yajurveda and Samaveda and Rig Veda as well. Now,
okay, just hold your thoughts because I want to boost the NAT up for our viewers. Sridhar, just talk us through some of this. What are we actually encountering here? Dushyantji, can you hear me? Okay, Sadhvi Pragya Bharti, could you talk us through some of these rituals? What are we encountering here? What exactly is this ritual all about?
Yes, definitely. I'll take you through the rituals that that PM Modi is performing today. And before that, Rahul, I would like to talk about the Dhwaj itself, the saffron flag. In the context of today's events at the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi temple in Ayodhya, the saffron flag refers to the sacred banner hoisted on the temple's spire, symbolizing the official completion of temple's construction and the proclamation of its divine sovereignty. Because, this is very important day for all the Indians, as today is the day we were waiting, since long. because ये जो भी rituals राहुल यहाँ पे आज perform किए जा रहे हैं, these rituals are spiritually performed. And you know, the significance of these rituals are they lie in the Indian heritage, and they lie in the its importance lies in the spirituality. And why these are so important, because अब देखो जिस तरीके से रिचुअल परफॉर्म किए जा रहे हैं मंदिर में, जैसे आरती की जा रही है, तो भगवान राम के आगे जब हम अपनी भावना को प्रकट करते हैं तो ये रिचुअल्स किए जाते हैं, उनका तिलक किया जाता है, उनको आरती दी जाती है। और साथ ही साथ I'd like to explain them because ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, हर सनातनी के लिए ये आज का दिन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। और जिस तरीके से हम भगवान को जब आरती अर्पित करते हैं, हम उनके आगे प्रार्थना करते हैं, वी बाउ इन रेवरेंस, तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि हम उनसे प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं कि ये जो आज का दिन है ये बहुत ही लंबे इंतजार के बाद आया है, आफ्टर लॉन्ग वेट ऑफ 500 years। इसीलिए ये दिन बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है और इसके लिए हम भगवान राम से प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं। और ये जो दिन है, इसमें एक बात और आज की बहुत ही स्पेशल बात है, वो ये कि आज भगवान राम और सीता का विवाह भी हुआ था। So this is again very important.
Very important. We were just looking at the specifics of the rituals and the ceremonies that are being performed, viewers. We're going to try and go across to Dushyant Sridharji. Fundamentally, viewers, what we've just seen is we're closing in on that auspicious moment. The Prime Minister about 10 minutes ago walked in to the main temple dedicated to Lord Ram. This, remember viewers, was the temple that was completed first. So this was the first phase of construction, and he walked straight up another flight of stairs, so in total more than 200 steps, and then went into the Garbhagriha, where you can see him now, where an arti was being performed, a certain ritual to and oblations were offered to the Lord Ram, specific to the Dhwajarohan ceremony. And there you can see that beautiful murti that was installed there. On the 22nd of January, it was consecrated, if you remember. Once again, let's listen to some of the prayers, and then we'll bring in Dushyant Sridhar to talk a little bit more about the significance of these chants.
ऋषिकेशाय नमः। ओम अपवित्रः पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थांगतोऽपि वा यस्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षं वायाभ्यन्तरः शुचिः पुण्डरीकाक्षः पुनातु पुण्डरीकाक्षः पुनातु पुण्डरीकाक्षः पुनातु। स्वस्ति तिलकम्। ओम स्वस्ति न इंद्रो वृद्धशरावाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः।
So you can hear the incantations. Let's bring in Dushyant Sridharji to explain exactly what these words mean, what they signify, what are they emblematic of. Dushyantji.
Namaste Rahul and namaste to the viewers. So in the Vedas, we have certain mantras called Swasti Vachana mantras. Just now you heard them say, Swastina Indro Vruddhashravaha, Swastina Pusha Vishwavedaha, Swastina Starksho Arishtanemihi. So it all says that let there be auspiciousness all around. I invoke the very grace of Garuda, who's called as Suparna, Garutman, so that he brings blessings to the temple. That is why, Rahul, you'll be surprised, whenever there is a Kalashabhishekam, a Kumbhabhishekam, you look to the sky, because there is a belief that the Garuda Pakshi will go around, because he is the very Swarupa of the Veda mantras. And very interestingly, in the Ramayana, it is stated that there was a Vedika, an altar that was created in the shape of a Garuda. And there is a mention in the commentary that Dasharatha was adhering to the Shukla Yajurveda. So all these days that was before the event that you see today, There were priests that were invited from all over the country, and they were reciting the mantras of the Rig Veda, of the Shukla Yajur Veda, Krishna Yajur Veda, and Sama Veda. And today we see now the Honorable Prime Minister standing in front of the Moolamurti, Prabhu Sri Ram Lalla, amidst the Swasti Vachana mantras that are recited, and he's standing in reverence with, of course, Sri Mohan Bhagwat ji, and in front of the Garbhagraha, because at the top of the Garbhagraha, just above Rama, we see a depiction of Ranganatha, who's the Kuladevata, the very family deity of Prabhu Sri Ramachandra, who's now housed in Sri Rangam. That is why in 2024 January, before the Pran Pratishtha happened in Ayodhya, the Honorable Prime Minister visited Sri Rangam in Tamil Nadu because he wanted to honor the Kuladevata of Rama. And we see Rama as a Ram Lalla, as a little boy prior to the marriage, holding the bow and the arrow. And this day is very special because in the Prana Pratishtha we majorly had only this Sannidhi, Rahul. But today we see that besides this Sannidhi, we have Sannidhis for Ahalya, Shabari, Nishadraj, Guha, the Saptarishis, the Rama Parivar, and so on and so forth. So it also becomes very important that he is following all these minute rituals where you take the Mantrakshata, and then you do a pradakshinam around the temple, and you then take the tirtha, the holy waters of Bhagavan, as your prasad, and then you offer flowers, patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, yobe bhaktya prayachati, says Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Offer a leaf to me, Arjuna. So here we saw the Honorable Prime Minister offering tulasi to Rama, then flowers to Rama, then fruits. So all this is a part, and Raman teacher in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Arjuna, I am generally very elated when I see devotees of me coming together. And look at the grand depiction of people, of devotees from different parts of the country who have come together. We see the Honorable Prime Minister being led into the temple. He offered his pranamas to the Devata there, Prabhu Sri Ramachandra, and with the Honorable Governor on one side, the Chief Minister of the state on one side, RSS being represented by its head Mohan Bhagwat ji. The Honorable Prime Minister is going to another Sannidhi because you see another door there, and here there are many sadhus who have been waiting all along to witness and be a part of this historic occasion where the Honorable Prime Minister is leading in the forefront. And we have the Shikhara in the Nagara architecture style that we see, and then there is a golden Kalasha atop, and there are many sadhus who are waiting to be a part of this Dhwajarohanam, because the moment the Dhwajarohanam happens, it means it's a full-fledged temple, Rahul.
Yes.
Because to conduct many utsavas, many festivals in the temple, because the moment the Dhwajam comes, it means that you have to conduct various festivals. So there is a set given in our Agama Shastras, Vaikhanasa Agama, Pancharatra Agama, what all festivals need to be conducted in which season. Because there is an Utsavam called Vasantotsavam that is held during the spring season. Then there is something called Sharan Navaratri held during the autumn season. So for every season, you will have a festival that will be coming. So we are just seeing that these festivals are going to increase by the day from today, because the Dhwajarohanam is happening.
Now, Dushyantji, let's also split the screen. Yes, I wanted to talk about the Murti itself of Ram Lalla, and I'm glad that we've been able to focus on it. The Murti itself is emblazoned with symbols. It's a specially created and crafted Murti which reflects a large number of aspects and facets of the Dharma. Can you talk us through that? And let's split the screen. The Prime Minister offering oblations on one side and the live pictures on the other.
Sure, Rahul. See, the beautiful Murti of Prabhu Sri Ramachandra, Rama Lalla that we see was sculpted by a very devout person called Arun from my state of Karnataka. And the very depiction of Rama in the color black signifies two things. One, we have adhered to the Ramayana because throughout the Ramayana, Valmiki keeps mentioning that Rama was of the color which was an admixture of the black from the collyrium that is applied to the eyes, of the green that is found in the dark green emeralds, of the blue that is found in the seas, and of the grey that is found in the clouds. So an admixture of the grey, the green, the blue and the black is the complexion of Rama. So the very depiction of Ram Lalla in a black stone signifies that we have adhered to the Ramayana. One. Second, we have a higher point to make and tell the world. Even before people could kneel their legs down and say that there should be no racism, we had all our heroes and heroines and the devatas whom we worship all in black color. Because Bharata Desham was never a land that treated, over-treated or ill-treated people based on their color. So we see the depiction of Rama there. In that Prabhavali is that arch that you see around Rama. You see the various Dashavataras. Ichamina Vihara Kachapa Mahapotrin Yadricha Harehe Raksha Vamana Rosha Rama Karuna Kakutsta Hela Halin Krida Vallabha Kalkavahana Disha Kalkinnitiv Pratyaham. You see the various avatars in the Prabhavali, the arch of Prabhu Sri Ramachandra. You see Garuda and Hanuman adorning on either sides of the Prabhavali, and then you also see the various ornaments that he's adorned with. He's a little boy, the very celebrated prince of Ayodhya, the scion of Ayodhya, so he's carrying all this jewelry. And then you also see the Pita color. It is kind of orangish yellow. On the day when Sita was abducted by Ravana in Panchavati, she was sporting a yellow silk, says the Ramayana. And then you see Rama being a Kshatriya, carrying the weapons in his hand. He's holding the bow and the arrow in his hand. And he stands majestic with such a charming face, with such beautiful lotus petal-like eyes, with the sesame flower-like nose, with coral-like lips, with such a conch-shaped neck, with a broad chest, with a thin hip, with two thighs that represent the stems of a banana flower tree, and the feet that are akin to the softness of the petals of a newly blossomed lotus and a lily. What more can I say, Rahul?
Beautiful,
Please.
beautiful, beautifully summed up. Dushyanji, just stay on with me. I also want to bring in Sadhvi Pragya Bharti. We're going to also speak to Dushyanji a little bit about the flag ceremony itself and the significance of the timing of that, because it has to take place in a auspicious window. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Sadhvi ji, I want you to talk a little bit about the Dhwaj, and we've got an exclusive visual of this beautiful Dhwaj, and we're going to show that to you, and you can talk a little bit about the symbols that adorn this Dhwaj and what does it actually signify.
Yes, Rahul, that is beautifully asked by you, because Dhwaj, the large saffron-colored flag measuring 22 feet by 11 feet, features 3 hand-embroidered sacred symbols in golden thread. The sun, that is Surya, this symbol represents Lord Ram's Surya Vansh, yani sun dynasty, lineage and eternal energy. And Om, it actually symbolizes, the sacred syllable Om symbolizes the prana or life force of all mantras, representing the entire creation and spiritual vibration. And now, if we talk about the Kovidar tree, the tree motif is traditionally associated with the Raghuvansh kings and is believed to be a divine hybrid of the Mandar and Parijat trees. It signifies purity, prosperity, and the ideals of Ram Rajya, a just and righteous rule. And also, the Dhwajarohan, the entire ceremony, if we talk about the flag hoisting ceremony, is a significant spiritual event with deep symbolic meaning. See, if we talk about the architectural completion also, the ceremony marks the formal completion of the Ram temple's physical construction, transitioning it from a building site to a fully sovereign divine abode. And it is a symbol of faith and culture. The flag represents the timeless values of Ram Rajya, the victory of truth and the resurgence of India's culture and Sanatan tradition. It also explains the connection with the divine. The flag and its pole, Dhwaja Stambh that we call, are believed to bridge the gap between the earthly realm and the celestial cosmos, acting as a beacon of divine energy and guidance for devotees. And also, the timings are very auspicious. The event was strategically timed to coincide with Vivaha Panchami, the wedding anniversary of Lord Ram and Ma Sita, and the auspicious Abhijit Murat, the time Lord Ram is believed to have been, married with Ma Sita. So this is the importance of, as we spoke about the Dhwaja and the saffron robe.
Well, obviously, viewers, the scene is absolutely stunning. You can see behind me how this entire mandir has now come together in a absolute testament to the resolve of the Sanatan spirit, which is of course everlasting. And you can see the Dhwaj in the middle of your screens there. This is the Dhwaj that is going to be now hoisted by the Prime Minister atop the spire. The spire itself, viewers, is about 21 feet long. So it is an imposing structure, and this flag is of gigantic proportions. Obviously, viewers, it is a flag that will behold, as the Sadhvi was saying, the cultural renaissance that we are now witness to. And you can see that at the end of the day, the mandir is going to look as if it has never really ever not been part of the landscape. So fundamentally, there is now an air of permanence to the memory, the legacy of Lord Ram, and it is the embodiment of this temple, which is a brick and mortar structure. So once again, let me come out to you, Sadhviji, and ask you a little bit more about the ceremonies that will be associated with the Dhwaj Arohan, which is now expected to begin in about 20 minutes or so.
Rahul, as we talk about the ceremonies today, see, first of all, I would say that today's Dhwajarohan at the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir, Ayodhya, is not just a religious ceremony. It is a civilizational milestone, a cultural awakening, and a global message of Bharat's spiritual renaissance, as we're talking about it. And it is a moment, like 500 years in the making. For centuries, generations of devotees, saints, and ordinary people made sacrifices to protect the belief that Ayodhya is the birthplace of Sri Ram. And now, like you said, you want to know about the rituals that we're going to perform today. See, the rituals that will be performed in Garbhagriha. So with the completion of the today's ceremony, the rituals that would be performed contains Aarti, Shankhanad, and also there would be, like he said, the chant of the Vedic mantra. So the priest begins with Vedic mantras, holy water sprinkling, kalasthapana, and spiritual offerings. So this purifies the energies of the temple surroundings and creates a sattvic atmosphere for divine presence. It is believed that where Vedic mantras vibrate, negativity cannot remain. And then, Rahul, we take Sankalp. Like you saw PM Modi taking Sankalp today, and then so what is Sankalp? It is a divine resolution. Priests and sevaks, like PM Modi himself calls himself, he's a Pradhan Sevak of Lord Ram, Sevak of the public, So they take a collective vow for the Dhwajarohan, for peace, for prosperity, for Dharma Raksha, and for the welfare of the nation. So Sankalp transforms the ritual into a sacred responsibility, and it ensures that the ceremony is performed with pure intention, which is essential in Sanatan Dharma. Then there will be Dhwaja Puja. Before hoisting, the saffron flag is worshipped also with kumkum, haldi, chandan, with flowers and akshat. Akshat is unbroken rice. By chanting Vedic hymns, Vedic mantras like Om Suryaya Nama, and those are already explained, and Ram Raksha verses. So in Sanatan tradition, a flag is not a cloth. It is treated as living symbol of divine virtues. Dhwaja Puja invites the presence of Surya, the sun energy, Om, the cosmic vibration, the sacred Kovida tree, the symbol of purity and lineage. So this is the importance. And also then Aarti and Shankhanad would be done. After the flag touched its peak, priests perform Aarti and they blow conches. Because it has a huge significance, spiritual significance in our scriptures. Shankhanad destroys negative vibrations and signals divine protection around the mandir complex. And it will be followed by Brahman Bhoj and Prasadam distribution, because it is again very important for a spiritual event. And yeah.
Well, on this particular issue, of course, the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has said, and I quote him, the grand saffron flag to be hoisted on the temple's shikhar. Shikhar means, of course, the apogee of the temple, by the Honorable Prime Minister in the presence of RSS Sanchalak, is a symbol of our religious and cultural revival. So this is very, very important to understand, viewers, because the conception of Bharat as a cultural civilization is very, very important, because it locates us very distinctly from some of the other civilizations like the Western civilization or the Cynic civilization. So it is important to establish ourselves as an other civilizational power on this beautiful earth. And the Yogi Adityanath has also called the Ram temple, and I quote him, the Rashtra Mandir, unquote. He describes the flag as representing the invincibility of truth, the immortality of faith, and the resurgence of culture. Why has he used this word, viewers, or this phrase, immortality of faith? Because for a while, the impression that was sought to be conveyed is that any inquiry into the greatness of Hindu civilization or the grandeur of Hindu civilization was an attempt to beckon at cultural supremacism. This is what we were told. And we were told that in a secular modern republic, we must not look back, we must only look to the future. And therefore, the yogi says that it's not merely a pennant but a symbol of that inner strength which in every era tore through the darkness of adharma to keep the life of dharma intact. So what was the adharma? The adharma, viewers, was the colonial imposition, wave after wave of colonial invasions that the Indian culture had to endure. And this particular ceremony therefore now establishes a continuity in the story of India's heritage and its civilizational journey. So fundamentally, we are connecting back to our civilizational roots. There has also been, of course, a lot of commentary, viewers, on the nature of this ceremony. The ceremony has now been explained in more ways than one by two leading scholars, Sadhvi Pragya Bharti as well as, of course, Dushyant Sridhar. Both of them were on air explaining the significance. Let me also tell you that the right-angled triangular flag, the hoisting of which now is going to take place any moment, in fact in about 20 minutes, this is very important. The flag measures 10 feet in height and 20 feet in length, bears the image of a radiant sun with Om inscribed on it along with the image of Kovidra tree. The sacred saffron flag aims to convey a message of dignity, unity and cultural unity. And this is very, very important because the unity of purpose on the Sanatani side of the fence has to be underlined constantly because there are many people who still pick at many fault lines that run through the tradition in a way of suggesting that the tradition itself is unequal, it is not universalistic in nature. Now, we brought to you an exclusive insight from the ground. My colleague Anand Narsimhan has managed, perhaps the only journalist to be inside the Mandir Parisar, sent this report. Watch it very carefully and then we'll open this up, viewers, to more conversations.
मैं अभी इस पर मंदिर के परिसर से आपके साथ जुड़ रहा हूँ। छोटा सा वीडियो जल्दी से बना देता हूँ। फोन अधिकांश लोगों को अलाउड नहीं है, पर कोई एक सज्जन है जो जिनको ये परमिशन मिल गया, जिनकी वजह से मैं ये आपको दिखा पा रहा हूँ। ये पीछे देखिए, यहाँ गीत और भजन गाए जा रहे हैं और मेरे पीछे ही मंच है जहाँ से प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी अब थोड़ी देर बाद यहाँ उपस्थित गणमान्य को संबोधित करेंगे। अब थोड़ी देर बाद ये ऊपर देखिए जहाँ पर ध्वजारोहण होगा, ये मंदिर का वो शिखर है जिसके ऊपर अब वो 20 फुट चौड़ी ध्वजा चढ़ेगी। बहुत ही अद्भुत यहाँ का नजारा है। एक बात मैं आपको बता दूं तो इस बार जो लोग यहाँ इस वक्त उपस्थित हुए हैं वो सब कर सेवक हैं, जिन्होंने कर सेवा की राम जन्मभूमि के परिसर और जिसमें जिन्होंने मेहनत की, उन सबको इस बार यहाँ पर निमंत्रण दिया गया। तो वीवीआईपी जिस तरह से सेलिब्रिटी लोग को कहा जा रहा है वैसे कोई नहीं है, पर जिन लोगों ने अपने हाथ पैर तुड़वाए, जिन्होंने गालियां खाई, जिन्होंने श्रम किया, जिन्होंने परिश्रम किया इस मंदिर के निर्माण में और रामलला विराजमान में, वो लोग इस वक्त इस बार उपस्थित है। तो शायद कहीं ना कहीं सौभाग्य है कि मुझे भी अवसर मिल गया।
Well, there you are, viewers. Very, very clear messaging from the invitee list itself that those people who sacrificed their all for the construction of this temple so that this dream would be realized of civilizational continuity are going to be honored in large numbers. Arun Govil, actor, somebody who reprised the role of Lord Ram in that beautiful series that we watched every day, almost as if Lord Ram was amongst us, joins me. Arunji, thank you for taking the time out. What an important occasion this is. an occasion that marks the reclamation of Hindu heritage, of Sanatani Dharma.
You're very right. It's been it's a wonderful moment, and I feel very lucky that it happened in my lifetime. When I started Ramayana in '87, we always used to wonder when will the mandir will be made, when mandir will be done, it will be completed, and finally it happened. And today the flag hoisting, that means the mandir, Ram Mandir, is going to be complete, absolutely. And I'm waiting very anxiously then when do I get a chance to visit the temple again and bow in front of the Dhwaja, the Ram Mandir Dhwaja.
Okay, so I just want to very quickly remind viewers that both Arun Govilji and Deepika Chikilaji, who is also going to be with us, Chikilaji who is going to be with us in just a few seconds, both of them brought into our living rooms, literally viewers, that yearning to see Lord Ram being reinstated, because all of us saw the conditions in which Lord Ram had been, one has to say this with a degree of regret, had been housed, very poor conditions. He was rendered, in fact, a captive of a political discourse that was very, very damaging to the manner and hurtful to the manner in which all Hindus revere the Lord and saw him. So Deepika ji is also here with us, Arun Govil ji are here with us. This is a beautiful moment. Deepika ji, I want to talk a little bit about Namaste ji, Jai Shri Ram, aapko bhi. I just want to talk a little bit about your first impressions when you first saw Ram Lalla in that tin shed, enclosed behind barbed wires as if he was a prisoner of a destiny that we hadn't chosen for ourselves.
I think it was a shock for me, and we have been doing Ramayana. And before Ramayana also, I've always been a Ram Bhakt. And I had never had an opportunity to go to Ayodhya and visit the temple. But I did that when I made my serial. I had my production. And the story was about Ayodhya. So we wanted to go to Ayodhya. And when we went, it was like walking into a prison. There were people all across. They would not allow you. Lallas, where the Lalla's Gharb was there, you were not allowed to move inside. So it just felt so caught up. And we were all shivering with emotions because we were seeing Ram Lalla for the first time, all of us. So we were taken over by emotions, and there was so much of hurt in our hearts that Hamare Bhagwan aisi sthiti mein hai. So that was the first emotion that came to us, of hurt, a lot of hurt.
Yes, imprisoned by a divisive politics, viewers, which rendered Lord Ram a fugitive in our own land, in the seat of his birth. And that really hurt. Arunji, you must also remember that moment. All of us used to go through those barricades as if we were also guilty of doing something illegal.
I remember I had gone to Ayodhya much before we did Ramayana series. I was doing a film and I went there 5 times, and first time I went there, and after that I could not go back again to that to see that scene. Of course, we say in the word that Ram Lalla was kept in prison, but maybe it was Sri Ram's divine play at work, you know. For everything, he has fixed up a time that only at this time this will happen. And maybe in our lifetime like this, after the series of Ramayana was completed and everybody had seen it in the world and everybody liked it, and that time after that, it happened. So maybe it had to happen because nobody can make prisoner to Shri Ram. Shri Ram cannot be anybody's prisoner for that matter. So maybe some divine play was at work. That's all I can say that.
I think you put it very, very philosophically.
In full glory when we see this temple.
Yes. No, I think, you know, you made a very philosophical point.
In its full glory now.
Yes. No, go ahead. Please go ahead.
I think it's wonderful the way it has panned out.
When we see this temple in its full glory, this is a different moment altogether.
Yes. No, I think what you just said was very, very important, very philosophical. You said that, you know, maybe Lord Ram sacrificed his own grandeur for a period of time to evoke within us sentiments that would perhaps bring us to this moment.
If we see the Ram Lala's qualities, right? Ram Lala's commitment, Shri Ram's truthfulness, righteousness, you know, all these things that were, and his human embodiment, spiritual human embodiment. So, Shri Ram had taken avatar for a different kind of a thing altogether, you know. And as I said it, his statue was kept in prison. But as I said it, you cannot prison Jai Shri Ram. His qualities, no, it cannot be prison. So it had to happen this way only. And of course, so many hundreds of years of struggles and so many sacrifices. So maybe Shri Ram wanted to make us understand the reality and the need to get it done in this moment in our lifetime, after the whole world had become Rammay, after our series was telecasted and everybody had liked it.
Let me bring in Deepika.
I see it that way.
Let me bring in Deepika ji also. Deepika ji, you were of course part of the consecration ceremony. I remember that very clearly. What were the thoughts at that time that ran through your mind?
Like I said, I've always been a Ram Bhakt. So for me, to be part of something so auspicious was something that brought chills to my body. And it was done so beautifully when the PM walked in. It was not a government function. It was not an opulent function which was talking about the grandeur, but it was pious. It was when you are getting your God back home. It was so wonderful. And I think the icing on the cake was when the Navy threw the rose petals on us and it went ahead and did it on the Ram Ki Pauri. I don't know a single person who did not have tears in their eyes. I still can cry when I remember that moment. And after all of that, when we go back, I'm like, Sakshat Ram has come to us. Finally, he's come to us. It was so divine. It was just so wonderful. I mean, it was unbelievable. It's not something, and I am so blessed. I am so blessed that I was part of something like that, and part of a history that is always going to be talked about, that Ramji jab aaye, main wahan thi. You know, that feeling was amazing. I was part of the whole thing. I think I have a story to tell my grandchildren.
Oh yes, I think definitively, because who would have imagined a day like this? I'm just going to go across now to the Dhwaj ceremony that is taking place.
ये अलौकिक क्षण के साक्षी बने हैं, सदियों की मनोकामना पूर्ण हुई है। मंदिर के
Viewers, that's the moment. That's the moment that we've all been waiting for. The right-angled triangular flag measuring 10 feet in height and 20 feet in length now ascends the spire, the highest point of the Ram Mandir. What a beautiful shot that is, taken from a camera angle that puts it into perspective for all of us. It bears the image of a radiant sun symbolizing the brilliance and valor of Lord Ram, with an Om inscribed on it, along with the image of the Kovidra tree. A statement issued by the Prime Minister office had talked about the significance of each of the symbols. And friends, this is a moment that we waited for hundreds of years. It symbolizes now that the mission to build a Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, which is emblematic of the reclamation of Sanatan Dharma and our civilizational heritage, is now complete. and the Prime Minister performing that ceremony in the company of the RSS Sanchalak Mohan Bhagwat, as well as Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath of Uttar Pradesh. Viewers, this entire ceremony taking place at the auspicious moment, and that moment was obviously calculated by astrologers who have been working behind the scenes to find the most auspicious occasions to ensure that this journey remains imbued by good luck. The flag, of course, will now rise atop this shikhar, constructed in the traditional North Indian Nagara architectural style, while the surrounding 800-meter parkota, which is a circumambulatory enclosure built around the temple designed in the South Indian architectural tradition, will showcase the temple's diverse architecture. And you can see that entire compound now in all its glory. And that's the image that we were all waiting for as the flag ascends to the very top of the spire. And now, viewers, the Prime Minister, of course, arrived in Ayodhya at around 10 a.m. and from there on he went across to the Sapta Mandir, which housed the temples dedicated to Maharishi Vashishta, Maharishi Vishwamitra, Maharishi Agastya, Maharishi Valmiki, Devi Ahilya, Nishad Raj Guha and Mata Shabri. And that in itself was a very important symbolic oblation that he paid to all these great deities, because it symbolizes the syncretic nature of Sanatan Dharma, its universalist spirit that accommodates diverse traditions. Also, let's not forget that this particular visit will now be followed by a speech that the Prime Minister is expected to give. Of course, the Prime Minister also visited the Mata Annapurna temple and performed the darshan and puja at the Ram Darbar Garbh Graha, which is the first time that he has done so, because the last time he visited Ayodhya, he had not had the occasion to go to the Ram Darbar. And then, of course, there will be a now speech by all the principals, including Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, and we're awaiting that any moment now.
आज सफल तपु तीरथ त्यागो, आज सुफल जप जोग विरागो, सफल सकल शुभ साधन साजो, राम तुम्हें अवलोकत आजो। श्री अयोध्या धाम में मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम भगवान श्री राम के भव्य मंदिर पर ध्वजारोहण एक यज्ञ की पूर्णाहुति नहीं, बल्कि एक नए युग का शुभारंभ है। इस अवसर पर भारत के भाग्य को वैश्विक मंच पर एक नई ऊंचाई पर पहुंच